Hey, Mr. PC, this elementary understanding of slavery is not gonna work with me. I'm finna learn your ass something today. Now, according to Mr. PC, he says it's always good to get a full picture, especially when many think that this issue is an American issue when it comes to slavery. The American rationale of slavery, especially the settlers, is like, hey, with slavery, everybody's doing it. America isn't that bad. I'm finna teach you the difference today. What's funny is this little visual is Mr. PC's right here. Notice how the title says slavery roots, war, and economic domination. Indentured servitude being a slave of war, debt slavery is not chattel slavery. The Anglo-Saxons didn't enslave the Britons because of the color of their skin. Black people experienced a unique form of slavery where the entire world bought into the idea that black was human and black was slave. Chattel slavery means the child that's birthed in slavery also inherits the slave status. The Anglo-Saxons enslaving Britons resulted into a slave trade. No, it didn't. Stop. This two-piece special is being brought to you by Mr. PC. It's gonna be extra crispy too, like Popeyes. See, Mr. PC thought he'll be cute and use this little visual about slavery roots, war, and economic domination in one of my videos about slavery in America. I'ma school his ass with it though. Part 1, I already got on how this analysis of slavery in terms of war and economic domination is merely conflating indentured servitude, debt slavery being slaves of war, and chattel slavery as being the same thing. Now notice, that shit started at 600 to 800 BC. It's not until 1444 until you see a slave trade that was established with black Africans. See, in year 500, when Anglo-Saxons enslaved native Britons wasn't sold and bought as slaves all across the world. The whole entire world didn't buy into the dehumanization of Britons. Sir, you trying to school me on a full picture of slavery and you got them American settler blockers on and you can't see the big picture? Lucky for you, Mr. PC, this two-piece special come with a drink. Bring that ass here for part 3, customer service. Mr. PC, I already gave you that two-piece. Now it's time for that drink in part 3. Now in America, it is taught that America is the greatest country in world history and it's the best at everything. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have that same energy when it comes to slavery. And that's on American settler guilt. Yeah, in 1444, the Portuguese established the Atlantic slave trade and they mastered the slave trade so good that to this day, Brazil got the biggest amount of African population outside of Africa. Nuance, Mr. PC. Notice I said that the Portuguese mastered the slave trade and not slave labor because we know that King Cotton shows that America did that. Just so we clear, I'd argue the entire Western world economic system is built on slave labor and backs of slaves. However, America used slave labor to become an economic power system. Shout out to King Cotton.
So what is your point, Conscious Lee?
As a result of exporting cotton globally, America thrusted on to the global economic scene as a powerhouse. I was nice to you and gave you a 32 ounce with this two-piece special.